And I believe we're on, so that's good. Well, the first order of business is I have a new CASA advocate that I would like to swear in. And so, Ms. Haynes, are you ready to take that step?
Yes, sir.
All right. Will you please raise your right hand and repeat the following? I, and then state your name,
I, Ashley Haynes,
solemnly promise and pledge
solemnly promise and pledge
that I will faithfully execute
I will faithfully execute
the duties of a court-appointed special advocate
the duties of a court-appointed special advocate
as a CASA volunteer.
as a CASA volunteer.
My paramount concerns
My paramount concerns
will be the best interests
will be the best interest
of the child or children
of the child or children
to whom I may be assigned.
to whom I may be assigned.
Congratulations, and I'll virtually shake your hand.
Thank you.
We're glad to have you. CASA performs an extremely valuable service for the court and for everyone involved in these cases. It is a separate and independent voice for the child that I rely upon in every case. So
Yes,
glad to have you, and I look forward to working with you.
thank you. I'm excited.
Okay, you're welcome to stay on and kind of see how things go if you would like to do that, if you don't have anything pressing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me see if I have any other attorneys that I haven't let into the meeting. There's Ms. Anderson. Let her connect and then I'll make an announcement. There she is. Morning, Ms. Anderson.
Good morning.
For the benefit of the attorneys and CPS, we will go back to courtroom meetings in July. So our next regular Friday docket courtroom meeting like today will be here in the courtroom, unless something horrendous changes, which I hope it doesn't. And we will not be having it on Zoom. We may continue from time to time to have, for example, 14-day hearings. Depending on the situation, I may have some of those on Zoom, depending on what's going on. But for the most part, I intend to try to come back to the courtroom on these cases. And again, unless there's an unusual reason not to.
And you said that's starting with the July docket.
Correct.
So those ones that were set for June 14th, because they didn't specify Zoom, are those going to be in person, or they will be by Zoom, even though they didn't specify by Zoom?
14th is in person. You're talking about the 14-day hearings?
Yes, sir.
I intend for those to be in person.
Okay.
All right. Okay, if everyone's clear on that. Let's see. Do you have a preference on the case? Looks like the first.
Yeah, you can start from the top. Those first few should be fairly quick.
I'm looking at my sheets, but I don't actually have a docket. So
Okay. Elijah Smith is the first one on the docket that I'm looking at.
okay. CCL 19C 590. In Ray Elijah Smith. And I believe, yes.
Your Honor, we'll need Jill. I think she's in the waiting room.
Okay, let me find her. Got a lot of folks in the waiting room right now.
Yeah, I'm sure.
There she is. Morning.
Good morning.
Anyone else we need, Ms. Hill?
Not that I know of, just Gary and Patricia, they're on there, so I think we're good.
Okay, let me ask everyone to place your appearance on the record in this case, please.
Courtney Shelton, attorney for the department.
Gary Albertson, attorney ad litem for the child.
Patricia Smith Wacasa.
All right, Ms. Shelton.
Your Honor, the court signed a move order recently for Elijah to be placed with his uncle, Robert Smith, in Missouri. I believe we've scheduled that for June the 15th, and we want to get Elijah situated with his uncle, make sure that's going to work out okay. I think Ms. Black has had a strict talking to with Elijah to tell him to stay put, don't do anything dumb, don't get in trouble. Let's, let your uncle know that you're a good kid. And as long as everything goes well, then we would like to give PMC to the uncle at the next court date. So we'd like to reset this for July the 9th and make sure everything goes well.
Okay, Mr. Albertson.
I agree, Your Honor.
Awesome.
Your Honor, I'm in agreement with this plan. I spoke with Mr. Smith. Jill was on the virtual visit with me, and we got to take a look at the home, and it appears to be appropriate for Elijah, especially for his age. So Elijah wants to be with family, and I feel like this is the best plan for him.
And where do they live? Again, I've forgotten.
Is it Springfield?
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Kansas City. That's a pretty town. How long has he been there now?
He is not there yet. He will be
Okay.
moved on June the 15th.
Okay. Ms. Black, do you concur that this is hopefully going to work out?
I think so. His uncle seems pretty excited about it, and Elijah does as well.
Okay. I think
And
I've
Judge-
already signed the move order, have I not?
Yes, sir. And Judge, just for the record, I don't know if you remember last time we had talked about his uncle having some criminal history for driving while license suspended. We did what we could as far as looking into that because it had shown up as felony. But his uncle assured us all he did was pay a fine. It was a small fine, and he did some community service, and that was it. So I was not able to even find out what court it came out of. So it's just a tiny misdemeanor here, so I can't imagine it would be a felony anywhere. And when I went and looked at Missouri law, you had to be convicted at least 3 times, and I only see 2 on his record.
Okay.
And he said he would not be driving, he would be having his son driving them.
All right. Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right. The court will continue the existing orders. I've already approved the move and the placement of the child with the relative. And I'll also put this back on the docket, reset for July 9. We'll see how things are going. The next case is CCL 20C118. That's regarding the Butterfield child. Let me ask for appearances in that case.
Courtney Shelton, attorney for the department.
Randall Lee, attorney ad litem.
Your Honor, CASA is assigned to this case, and I do have an advocate named Megan Murphy that should be in the waiting room.
Okay, let me find her. She is there. That's fair in.
Thank you.
She's trying to, I think she's connected. Ms. Murphy, can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can't see you. Can you turn on your video?
Yes, hang on one second.
All right,
There we go.
there you are.
Yes.
I've just called the Butterfield matter, so we're about to take that up, okay?
Okay.
All right. My understanding, you're the CASA rep assigned to that case, is that correct?
Correct. Yes, that is correct.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Shelton.
Your Honor, they did an adoptive staffing on May the 19th. Lee Walston is the worker that will be recruiting to find her an adoptive home. Nakia is ready. She's excited to be adopted. She is currently in it's called a general residential operation, which is apparently not a group home, but not an RTC. So whatever that means. But she is ready to find her forever home. So they're going to be working on that. And hopefully we can find her a family that will love her and raise her as their own.
Mr. Lee,
We agree with that, Your Honor.
Ms. Murphy, would you like to weigh in on this?
I think that Nakia is definitely ready to be adopted. She would be an asset to any family. In the meantime, however, the placement that she is in, I've been out there to visit with her. It's a good fit. It's fantastic. And I think that it's a great spot for her while we're working on getting that adoptive home in place. So I'm really pleased with the placement she's in.
Okay, and she's 16 or 17 now?
She is 16, I believe.
16?
Yes, sir.
Any idea on a date for consummating the adoption?
We have not found a home for her yet, Judge.
Okay. Okay. When do you want to review this case again?
The next required is not till November the 5th. So hopefully by that date, we will have found an adoptive family.
Okay. Then the court will continue the existing orders with the department as managing conservator, I believe, permanent managing conservator. And I'll approve the current placement based on the recommendations that I've heard today. And reset the case for November 5 for the next review unless something occurs that I can review it sooner in the process of trying to consummate an adoption in this case. Anything else from anyone in this case?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
The next case is CCL 20C175. And that is the Garcia matter. And I'll ask for appearances in that case.
Your Honor, we will need Jamie Pickett in on this one.
Okay. I don't see her yet. I'm still looking. There's a Zoom user and there's an iPhone. She would almost have to be one of those if she's joined us.
Jill, do you know what she's usually been in on?
I'm pretty sure it's usually had her name. I just sent her a message to make sure that she had called in, but I think it's usually her name.
Let me look once more. I may have missed it. I think Ms. Black is right. My recollection is her name usually shows up unless she's using a different device. No, she's not there. There's a Zoom user that's not identified, and there's an iPhone that's not identified. And I think everyone else is well identified.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. I was just speaking with her. She said that it may show up as Zoom, as a Zoom user. She said she can see your waiting room, but she's calling in on her computer at her work instead of her phone that usually has her name. So she may be that Zoom user.
Okay, I'll let the Zoom user in. Ms. Pickett, have you connected? No, you're trying to connect. Ms. Pickett, can you hear me? You're muted. If you can hear me, please unmute yourself. Now can you hear me? Showing that she's connected.
Oh, that's not Jamie.
It's not?
No, sir. That was a male.
Okay. Well, that's the only Zoom user. There's an iPhone. Yeah, I think that's Mr. Morgan. It's on the Zoom user.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Morgan, I'm going to we haven't gotten to you yet, so I'm going to put you back in the waiting room, okay?
Okay.
Don't go away.
Your Honor, is there a name, Sabrina or something close to that?
Let's see. Yes, there's a Sabina is actually the way it shows up.
Okay, I'm sorry, she just sent me a message and said that that is the name on the work computer. It's the manager's name and that is her.
Okay, let's see if I can find her again. I think she just disappeared. She did. She was there. Now she is not there. It was Sabina. Now she's back. Okay, let's try this.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
Are you Miss Pickett?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, can you turn your video on for us?
Yes, sir. Let me see. Start video. Can you see me? There we go.
There you go. You're
Sorry,
good.
I didn't realize it was under Sabina. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. I just called your case at CCL 20C175. I'm going to ask those persons who are participating in this case to make themselves known on the record, beginning with Ms. Shelton.
Courtney Shelton, attorney for the department.
Cindy Hammond, attorney ad litem for the child.
Tricia Smith with CASA.
And Ms. Pickett, you're appearing on Zoom as well. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
Okay. All right, Ms. Sheldon.
Your Honor, I am happy to say we've been on a monitored return, and Ms. Pickett is continuing to test negative. She has completed all her services, so we are asking the court to dismiss this case.
All right, Ms. Hammond.
I'm in agreement. The child is ready. The mother is ready. Very proud of how the mother has progressed in this case, and happy outcome here.
Casa.
Your Honor, I'm in agreement as well. I've made several unannounced visits and Gabby is happy. I'm proud of Ms. Pickett, so we're in agreement with this.
Well, Ms. Pickett, what about you? Are you in agreement?
Oh, well, heck yeah, Your Honor, I'm in agreement. Super excited.
Well, I wish all of my cases turned out this way. It would make my job a lot easier. Congratulations, and I'm going to dismiss this case. This case is dismissed. Okay?
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Take good care of her,
I will, I promise.
and you can sign off now.
Thank you. How do I find it? Stop video. Sabina, help me sign off. Sabina, help me sign off.
I got her. Okay. Are all my cases going to be like that, Ms. Sheldon?
No, sir. Sorry.
Oh, well, I could hope.
I know. I wish.
CCL 20C 397. The matter involving the Morgan and Burns child. Appearances, please.
Courtney Shelton, attorney for the department.
Your Honor, I think Jessica Attaway for CPS should be in the waiting room.
Okay.
She's here at the office.
This is Morgan Burns.
Morgan Burns?
Morgan Burns.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Shelby Hudson.
Shelby Hudson.
Yes.
Let me find her.
I just saw Morgan, Courtney.
Okay.
And I knew Jessica was waiting across the hall, so.
Wrong Morgans.
Oh, Jessica can stay in if she wants to. Morning, Ms. Attaway.
Morning.
We haven't gotten to you yet, but we will.
Okay, that's fine.
It looks like Ms. Hudson is there. Ms. Hudson, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Very good. There she is. We need anyone else, Ms. Hill?
If Stephanie Davis, Adam Morgan, well, I know Adam won't be in the waiting room. Stephanie Davis or Charles Burns is in the waiting room, but I doubt it.
There's Vanessa Davis.
No.
Charles said he was in the waiting room. I'm not sure what name it would be under, though.
He's there. And the other one was Stephanie Davis. Is that
Yes,
correct?
sir.
I don't see her. There's an iPhone. It's not identified. There's a GB. Mr. Burns, can you hear me, sir? Mr. Burns, can you hear me? You're muted.
Okay, yeah, I can hear you.
All right, very good. I need you to take that cap off. You're in court, okay? All right.
Yes, sir.
Do you know if Ms. Davis is going to join us today, Stephanie Davis?
I have no idea, sir.
Okay. Well, let's see. That means I think we identified the iPhone as Mr. Morgan, I believe. Did we not?
The iPhone, no, that was that Zoom user.
Zoom user?
Yes, sir.
Let's see who the iPhone is. This is all the more reason to have these in person when possible. The person on the iPhone, can you tell me who you are, please?
Rhiannon Hart.
Okay. Sorry, we're not to you yet, so I'm gonna put you back in the waiting room, okay?
That's fine.
We will be getting to you shortly. Let's see, I don't think I have anyone that's not identified. There's GB, I don't know who GB is. Does anyone know who that could be?
No, sir.
I'll have to find, that's the only other one.
Sir, that's Christina Starnes on the Starnes.
Okay. Apparently, Miss Davis is not going to join us then. Because she's not in the waiting room. The only unidentified ones are there's a Zoom user, we know who that is, and the iPhone, we know who that is. And I don't see anyone else other than Vanessa Davis. You
That's
said
Vanessa
that's not.
Murphy.
Okay. All right, then identification, please, in this case.
Courtney Shelton, attorney for the department.
Gary Albertson, attorney ad litem.
Cindy Hammond, attorney for the mother.
Randall Lee, attorney for Mr. Burns.
Patricia Smith Wicasa.
Michelle Walton, CPS.
Okay. Ms. Hammond, you know if Ms. Davis was going to join today?
Your Honor, the last time I had contact with my client, I believe was the Monday or Tuesday before the last hearing. She was supposed to call me that next day, and since that time, I have not heard from her. I did stress to her how important it was for her to keep in contact with me, but she has not done so. And I do not have a working phone number for her. The last information she gave me was that she does not have a phone herself and that she would provide me with one the next day as far as a backup number that I could call her on. But since she did not return that call, then she has not provided me with any way to keep in contact with her.
Okay. All right, then, Ms. Shelton, you may proceed.
Your Honor, unfortunately, this is the complete opposite of the last case. Parents have made no progress in this case. They're not taking drug tests. When they have taken tests in the past, they've been positive. If you recall, the last time we were here, you suspended visits until they took tests or started working services. That has not happened yet. None of the parents took any tests in May. Adam Morgan is still incarcerated in ADC. So at this point, we're changing our goal to termination, and we would like to set this for a final hearing, preferably in September. And also, Mr. Burns has been arrested twice for possession of a controlled substance. He was in possession of meth. So
Just 3 times.
Oh, 3 times now. I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
So your goal on all 3 parents is termination?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Lee?
And I have not talked with Mr. Burns since the last hearing. He has previously verbalized the position to get, he wanted to get the kids back and do whatever is necessary to get them back.
Mr. Burns, do you understand the department is changing their goal in this case to termination of your parental rights in this
Yes, I
child?
understand.
You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Casa?
Your Honor, I'm concerned with the lack of progress from the parents. The boys are thriving in their environment. They're doing well, checked with school, they're making great grades, and they're just doing good. I was kind of concerned about Riley on how she would take, the last court hearing, we had ceased visitations until they made more progress, but she is, according to the placement anyway, she's doing okay. So, I mean, if the parents aren't going to get clean and do what they need to take care of their children, I'm not sure what another solution would be, but I do encourage the parents to do what they can from this point on until termination.
Okay. Well, I assume the services are still offered while the case continues to be pending. Is that correct, Ms. Sheldon?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Burns,
Yes, sir.
if you want to avoid adverse consequences in this case, such as termination of parental rights, you need to get in compliance with the service plan that the court has ordered. And that primarily, although not exclusively, but primarily involves your getting clean of any illegal drugs. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. Can I just a moment to speak for just a second? Is that
Yes.
okay?
Sure.
So I've done my CATA. I'm waiting for them to contact me to tell me when the appointment is. I've been going to like NA classes. I can get you guys the sign sheet, but it's up there. So I'm a little unprepared on that, but I have been going for about a month. So I mean, I have been working on it. It's more than just no progress. And as far as the charges, there was a series of bad decisions. Yes. As far as getting arrested. But I've also been trying to push and go into rehab. I've even talked to Miss Shelby about, helping me find a program, which I've gone up to Community Health Corps. I already have an appointment set for the 10th. It was the earliest they could get me in because they're pretty booked up. But I go in the 10th at 1:30. I have an appointment for an evaluation to see if it's going to be inpatient or outpatient. I'm just going to go ahead and push for inpatient. I feel that would be a little bit better environment. But I don't think they actually offer the inpatient program, but they also gave me a couple of numbers, but they're going to do the evaluation to see where we stand on that. So, I mean, I have been trying.
Okay, well, keep trying.
Yes, sir.
Especially you need to pursue the ECATA evaluation and follow their recommendation and do whatever steps you can take to get clean, because that's the main problem here. Okay.
Yes, sir, I understand.
All right.
And then also, so, see, I'm in the process. Like, see, I'm a full quarter Indian. My mom, she was Indian, and my grandparents. So I'm also in the process of getting the paperwork and everything for that. So.
Right. Okay. Well, that's required by law.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything else you want to add?
No, sir. That's it at the moment.
All right. Well, I need you to get clean before I can restore your visitation with
I
Riley.
understand.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
that's another incentive for you.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, I'll continue the existing orders of the court without change. The placement of the children is approved. And next review date.
Your Honor, we'd just like to set this for final hearing.
Your Honor, since he is verbalizing the desire to try, I would like to have one more time before the final hearing for him to see if he's making any progress.
Yeah.
Let's see, dismissal is in December.
And honestly, there's quite a few things that I know y'all don't see. But as far as the progress I've made, I bought 3 vehicles for adequate transportation. That's things y'all don't see. I've walked to see that little girl. I've walked 13 miles before somebody came from Tyler to pick me up, to give me a ride the rest of the way from Avenger to Bloomberg. So I mean, there's quite a few things there that I mean, y'all are just kind of unaware of. I mean, y'all say no progress. I'm thinking, you have no idea.
What is the August date?
August the 6th.
Regular hearing date?
Yes, sir.
I'll set the final for August 6th. Mr. Lee, if your client's gonna make any progress, then that's gonna give him time to do so beyond this. And by progress, I mean getting clean of illegal drugs.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Judge, I'm assuming you mean final pretrial, right?
We were requesting the final for September, Judge, and then have the discovery due 30 days ahead of time.
Okay. What's the September date?
April, you know.
It is September 3rd.
Okay, set final September 3 and then the discovery date in August.
And we are having a final pretrial on August 6th.
Yes.
Correct. Okay.
Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Burns, you're excused. You do need to stay in touch with Mr. Lee because he's your lawyer and he can't help you unless he knows what's going on with you, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can sign off. Next case is CCL 20C415, the Harp children. Who do I need to bring into from the waiting room?
Rhiannon was she on the iPhone?
Yes.
And let's see. I think that's it. Yeah, that should be it.
Okay. Ms. Harp, can you hear us and see us? You're muted. Can you unmute yourself?
Can you hear me now?
I can. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yes, sir.
Very good. I've just called your case. This is cause number CCL 20C415 regarding the Harp children. And I'll ask for appearances, beginning with Ms. Shelton.
Courtney Shelton, attorney for the department.
Gary Albertson, attorney ad litem.
Paige Blackman, attorney for Ms. Harp.
Patricia Smith Wacasa.
All right. Ms. Shelton.
Your Honor, the kids are doing well in their placements. Bobby, especially, if you recall, he's placed in Hugh Springs with it's actually a school faculty member that Ms. Harp knew. The visits, if you recall, also had been switched to virtual.
Just a minute.
Okay.
Ms. Harp, you don't need to be smoking. This is a court proceeding.
Yeah, I just put it out. I'm sorry.
All right. This is not the place to be smoking or anything like that. So I need you to take this seriously, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, Ms. Shelton.
If you recall from the last hearing, we had switched the visits to virtual because Ms. Harp had a little bit of anxiety driving in Longview. They have switched them back to in-person. They were able to work out a location that Ms. Harp was comfortable driving to in Longview. I believe it's kind of on the outskirts of Longview. So they have just started that back this week. Bobby is seeing a counselor. He's he's on his meds. He's getting exceptional reports from the school. The girls are also seeing a counselor. So all the kids are doing great. Mom's doing good on her services. She's following up with Community Health Corps. And then she was also seeing a counselor with Grace on the Lake, but they're closing. So she has a new counselor that she starts seeing this month. Drug testing, she was completely negative in April, but then she tested positive for marijuana on May the 11th. The concern was that she's denied using it all. She claims that the person she sits for on her job smokes marijuana and that she's around a lot of people who smoke. Obviously, we have cutoff levels. That was explained to her that she wouldn't have tested positive unless she actually ingested it herself. And then also she took a test on May the 25th. Her UA was positive for benzos, but Miss Blackman provided her prescriptions and she was recently prescribed Valium. So that verified that prescription for us. So really the issue is just the marijuana test. She has completed her psychological, should be almost done with parenting. So at this point, we just want to come back in July, see if we have a negative UA, and then hopefully we can start increasing the visitation and hopefully get the kids back to her soon if everything stays stable.
Ms. Blackman.
Yes, and I do want to point out this most recent drug test, she was negative again for marijuana. So we don't really know what happened on that middle one. You know, it was just, I know
Was it a hair follicle or UA?
It was
The
UA.
most recent. Okay.
Oh, I think they were both UAs.
Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Blackman.
anyway, I have visited with her before court each and every time, and she's every time displayed a complete willingness to do whatever's necessary to get her kids back. And she just keeps a really neat, clean house, and things that, you know, that I might have needed to talk to her about, I've been able to, and she responds in a very compliant manner. So.
Let's see, Mr. Alverson, are you the ad litem in this?
I am, Your Honor.
What is your report?
Well, Your Honor, I mean, I think I'm in agreement with the state. Ms. Harp is doing very well from what I can tell, other than whatever happened with the May test. She's doing everything she can. So the kids are doing fine from all the reports and everything. So I think we just stay with where we're at, and hopefully she continues to test clean and finish her services, and we have a good result.
I was thinking that the middle test, the one that was positive for marijuana, was both a UA and a hair follicle. Am I wrong about that? Did someone answer that?
I'm having to go back and check, Judge. And maybe April can answer it faster, or Jill can.
I am pulling it up right now, Your Honor.
May 11th was a UA.
There was also a hair test that was positive on May the 11th.
Okay, so both of them.
That's what I thought. Was the UA positive as well as the hair? I was thinking the UA was negative.
I'm showing that the UA on May 11th is negative.
That's what I thought.
Okay, I've got it backwards now.
So that means she's got a positive hair follicle May 11th, which would have gone back 45 days, or as much as 45 days, which would make sense why the UA would be negative.
I think the concern was the hair test before that was negative. She had positive hair test and then her hair test had become negative and then she had another positive hair test.
Okay, what was the date of the previous positive hair test?
I'll have to look, hold on. Sometimes it's with us being on Zoom, sometimes the to get to the testing site, it's a little slow because of the bandwidth, but I'm on the website, so let me just get to
Judge,
the,
her March hair follicle was positive. So what's the next one? There's May. February. I'm not seeing one that was clean. March was bad, and then I don't see another one till May.
Okay,
Unless there was one in April that I just don't see in the file.
okay.
I mean,
Well, in any event, Ms. Harp, you understand you have to provide clean tests before we can really and truly move forward in this case. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor, I do. And I can promise you I haven't smoked. I've been clean for
Okay.
6 months.
So you can't explain why you would have had a positive test other than what?
No, I cannot. No, Your Honor, I cannot.
Okay.
Your Honor, I will say that I have been to see her in person, both in person, in her own home, and I've visited with her on Zoom, and I haven't noticed at any time that she's been impaired in any way. She does smoke cigarettes, but that's been the only thing I've observed.
Okay. Well, I think she knows that she has to have clean tests, and that's really all that I need to convey today. I'm going to continue the existing orders. With the exception of visitation, which seems to be going well, I'm not opposed to increasing that if it can be worked out on a, what is the current visitation?
2 hours per week supervised by the department.
Okay. You mentioned perhaps modifying that. Can you tell me to what extent you were going to modify it?
We talked about coming back in July, and if we have negative UAs, then increasing that.
Okay. All right.
I
Then
don't, I honestly, the girls are in Longview, so it's a little bit more difficult, but with Bobby being in Hughes Springs, I don't have any objection to maybe increasing that a little bit. Just to kind of see how it goes. And I don't know how the caregiver feels about supervising. Maybe Miss Black can answer that one. No? Okay. We can do that.
I'm sorry. It's just not a conversation that I've had with them. So I don't want to speak on their behalf without talking to them about it.
Okay.
I don't have any objection to increasing that visitation a little bit. And we can work that out, Judge.
All right. We'll take another look at it in July then. Let's put it back on the docket for the July date. What is that date?
July the 9th,
Okay.
my birthday. Don't y'all forget it.
Very good.
I think that's the second time it's happened because you gave me a cake last time. No, Judge Addison did. That's what it was. You remember that, April?
It was Judge Addison.
Judge Addison gave me a cake for my birthday.
We'll
I
have
think
to-
I think she's giving you a hint, Judge Dowd.
Sounds like a pretty strong hint too. See what we can do. Okay. Anything else in this case?
No, Your Honor.
All
No,
right.
Your Honor.
Ms. Harp, you're excused. Just continue to test negative, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can sign off. The next case is CCL 21C109, interest of Justice Briggs.
Your Honor, my client is sitting up front. I'm gonna go grab her and bring her back.
Okay. Anyone else I need out of the waiting room in this case?
Your Honor, I may have an advocate, Tori Bellinger, that might be in the waiting room. She's assigned to this case.
She is there, so I'll let her in.
Thank you.
You want to sit right here? I'll get you on camera.
Okay, this is a status hearing, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Appearances.
Courtney Shelton, attorney for the department.
Cindy Hammond, attorney ad litem for the child.
Gary Albertson, attorney for the mother, Tanya Kennedy.
Tori Bellinger with CASA.
Zoom tight. All right, Ms. Shelton.
Your Honor, we haven't made quite as much progress in this case as I was hoping for. Unfortunately, the home study was denied on Somerset, which is where Justice is placed. That's Justice's sister. I don't want to move her. I don't think it's in her best interest to move her. I think she's very bonded to Somerset. I think with everything that's happened to her, I think that moving her would be more detrimental to her. My concern, however, is that, and Ms. Black can correct me if I'm wrong, but Justice has not started counseling. And that was at the front of my, besides Justice starting counseling, besides Tanya starting counseling, was Justice starting counseling. That was at the top of my priority list, is that she needed counseling with all of the trauma that she's had. And Somerset has no-showed 2 of those appointments. I realize that she's taken on a huge responsibility with Justice, but that's something that absolutely has to get done. As far as Ms. Kennedy's concerned, she has tried to set up counseling with Barbara Larry. I'm not 100% sure if that's been accomplished yet or not, but okay, I'm getting head nods that yes, it has. We've had some positive drug tests for marijuana, benzos, and opiates. Obviously, the marijuana is not prescribed. The hydrocodone is prescribed, and the Xanax, I believe, is prescribed. But she also tested positive for hydromorphone, and we have not been provided a prescription for that I'm aware of.
What is that? I've never heard of that.
I'm going to say it's probably morphine.
Your Honor, my client is telling me that that was something that she was given during her surgery when she was in the hospital.
Is hydromorphone is like Dilaudid or morphine. I think our concern with it is that it was on the urine test.
It would not have come back in her urine this far out. This is something that, this was a urine test from 5/11, so that only goes back 72 hours. So there was another test taken on 5/27, and we have not gotten those results back yet. So we're still waiting to see if we're still positive for all of those things. I know that Justice is ready to go back to her mom, but with the lack of counseling, and there is just so much that happened to get us to where we are, that is not something the department's ready to recommend at this point. I don't feel like it's in her best interest. And honestly don't know that it's in mom's best interest to do that this early on. I am willing to review it in August to consider that, but I just, prior to school starting, I just don't think that's something that we're there yet. There's just too much that happened to get us where we are.
Mr. Alverson.
Well, Your Honor, my client, we were originally in the affidavit for removal, it was concerns about suicide notes and mental health. We've provided all the medical records showing that she's been cleared of all that to Ms. Shelton's office. The doctors have said she's not a threat to herself or any others, that she's been cleared. She was sent home. She has been seeing Barbara Larry. She would like to request that her child see Barbara Larry also. It doesn't have to be at the same time she does, or if Miss Larry wants her to, that's fine. We don't know what, she's telling me that she was told the counseling was canceled for some reason for Justice. I don't know if it was a one-time canceled or if something happened, but she has been to see Barbara Larry, and Barbara Larry has said she would be willing to see the child. On the drug test, we provided a copy to Miss Black, I believe yesterday, of all the prescriptions that Miss Kennedy was given. If there's an issue with something else, we would certainly like to try to prove that that was something she was given. But obviously we think these tests are going to come back clean on anything other than what she was prescribed. Obviously it's going to take a little bit longer for her test to come back every time because she is going to have hydrocodone and those other things she was prescribed in those drug tests. So they're going to be confirmed and take a little bit longer to come back. Miss Kennedy's doing everything she's supposed to. I believe she's in the process of getting her home moved to Texarkana. She's bought land. She's having that trailer moved to that land. Her and her child love each other, want to be together, and we're asking that the child be returned as soon as the court's comfortable. But we feel like we have provided everything showing that we're in compliance and doing what we're supposed to through everybody we've been required to see. And as soon as these drug tests come back clean, like we believe they will, we think that we ought to be allowed to have the child with us, especially considering the home study was denied for whatever reason. I know that the ad litem and CASA can recommend otherwise, but we feel like we're doing everything we possibly can, and that it appears that my client was a victim in this and not a willing participant. So we don't feel like she's done anything wrong at this point based off the medical records and the counseling and stuff that's been presented. She did want me to let the court know she has completed her parenting completely. Her graduation is next Wednesday, and they're telling her they will provide her with a certificate to provide to the court on Wednesday when she graduates.
Okay, Ms. Hammond.
Your Honor, the child definitely is wanting to go home, is ready to go home. I do agree with Ms. Shelton that I am very concerned that the counseling has not started. Additionally, Miss Larry is not qualified to counsel Miss Kennedy, much less the child, because she is not trauma certified. She's not trauma qualified. And so the child really does need to go to counseling through the CAC, where they are trauma trained, trauma certified. They know how to do the trauma counseling. That is the only concern I have about the sister's house, is that they're not getting her to counseling. I do believe that if the mother would talk to Somerset and would stress to her how important that is, that it would occur, because this whole family is very bonded to each other. I do think that the child is probably resisting counseling a little bit. And partly it's because of how the family treats counseling as something that they don't necessarily need, but it's just a checklist item, not realizing that this is something that the child would definitely benefit from. She is doing well at Somerset's home. I have the concerns in the home study were a criminal charge that Somerset had several years ago when she was very young.
Let
And
me
she,
stop you. Let me stop you there because I see that she's in the waiting room. So why don't we let her in and she can talk to us about those things? Is it Somerset Cobb? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
correct.
Okay. I just saw that she's in there.
They're saying it's not good for your child because it doesn't address trauma. I understand.
Yeah, I'll take whatever you want.
I understand.
I'm not opposed.
Ms. Cobb, can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear you.
Very good. Can you turn on your video for us, please?
Yes. Hang on, I wasn't expecting to be on camera. One moment.
There you go.
Okay.
I can see you. Can you see me and hear me okay? I'm Judge Dowd.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. I've just taken up Justice's case. Ms. Hammond she's the attorney ad litem for the child, was making a presentation to the court. There have been two primary things raised, which I would like your input about.
Okay.
Regarding what's going on in the case. First of all, there's concern that Justice is not getting to her counseling appointments as required. Secondly, there have been some alleged positive tests on the part of Miss Kennedy. And thirdly, apparently you were turned down as a placement for the child by the department in a home study. And it had to do with what they're alleging was some type of criminal history that you have. Can you tell us about any of those things?
Yes, sir. The counseling, our first appointment was rescheduled because Justice had to go to Atlanta for STAR testing. And then we rescheduled for last Monday, but I ended up in the emergency room. So we rescheduled for this upcoming Wednesday with Carly Ron.
Carly Ryan, is that someone the department has provided for you?
Yes, that's her counselor.
Okay.
Their criminal charges were when I was 19. They were removed. I did go to community service for those, and I'm 20, almost 25 now.
What were the charges?
They were I forgot exactly what it's called, but I did get in a physical altercation.
Okay. An assault case, maybe?
Yes, I believe so. But I did do community service and those charges were removed because my goal is to become a teacher and we did get those removed.
Was it a misdemeanor? Do you know what that is?
Yes, sir. I
Okay.
believe so.
Was it here in Cass County?
I believe Bowie.
Bowie County. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Ms. Hammond, questions?
No, Your Honor. I wasn't concerned about the criminal charges as much. I know that on paper it looks bad, but I also know that with Somerset's some things that have happened in her past, she has come a long way. And with that being, believe it was like 4 years ago, almost 5. I don't have concerns. I just know that the department's policy is that if there is a charge within 5 years and it's for something like that they cannot approve. But I am definitely recommending that justice stay there with Somerset until we are able to send her home to her mother.
Okay. Let's see. Ms. Bellinger, you're the CASA rep in this case, is that correct?
I'm in agreement with Ms. Hemmings and the department. I went to see Justice yesterday. She was thriving and doing very well. She was excited that she made AB honor roll for this last school year. Counseling is my biggest concern right now.
Okay.
Judge, if I could, I'd like to address a couple of things. One, I heard Ms. Hammond say that she doesn't think that Barbara Larry's qualified, but that's who we have been set up to see. So if that's going to be an issue, I don't know if she can see somebody else or what, but I mean, it was said that she's not qualified to be doing this for Miss Kennedy, but that's who we've been set up through CPS to go do. So if that needs to be changed, we obviously want that to be done as soon as possible. We don't want to be going to somebody and then that be an issue down the road. Secondly, if there's an issue with something going on with Justice not getting to a counselor, there are other family members. I know Tanya's brother is here and he's saying that he would be willing to transport her. And I don't think that's been an issue in the past. He's been set up as a supervisor in this case. So if there's another issue down the road that Somerset has, there are other family members that are willing to get her to those counseling sessions. And my client is thoroughly behind getting her to counseling and wants that to continue no matter what. She says she's even spoke with Ms. Black about the fact that even when this case is over, that CPS still could provide those services and still could help with that. And she wants that to continue. So those were the two things that we wanted to say based on the counseling.
Ms. Black, you want to address the counseling question about the qualification?
We set Miss Kennedy up with Barbara Larry at the Counseling Center in Texarkana. That is one of the facilities that we have a contract with. I think at that same facility, there's also Sherry Roberts. If everyone is more comfortable with her, or if there's a specific counselor that Ms. Hammond has in mind, I can look into it and see if that is a service that we can provide through a particular person.
I think, Your Honor, I think that Ms. Hammond was saying that Barbara Larry is not trauma focused trained to counsel Justice, not Tanya. She was, because Tanya had asked, could Justice do counseling with Barbara Larry too? We have Justice set up through the CAC for the trauma counseling. It was in regards to her.
That's what I understood as well. Yeah. So I think that should go forward.
Okay.
Judge, I would like to address one thing that Mr. Albertson said. He's made the comment that they've provided all the medical records from Miss Kennedy's, all of her psychological. There was a huge gap missing, pages 16 through 35. I don't know what was in those pages. Yes, it said that when she was released at that point, she was not a danger to herself or others. Those records were provided because Miss Kennedy wanted her guns back. So those were not provided simply for CPS purposes. So there is a large gap in those medical records that I have no idea what those records say. So yeah, that was a qualified delivery of medical records. So I would like that clarified. All medical records were not provided.
Okay. Well, as far as the court is concerned, there's question marks that still exist that need to be answered before the court is going to make the important decision of returning the child. I'm not sure exactly why these appointments are not being kept. Ms. Cobb provided a couple of reasonable excuses, but they're still excuses, and the appointments are still not being kept. And everyone has concern about justice getting counseling. And again, that's supposed to be at the center there in Texarkana, which is, as I am aware, is trauma certified. So that needs to take place sooner and not later before the court is going to be willing to return the child. And just as importantly, is big question marks about these drug-related tests coming back positive. Certainly, it's possible that they could result from hospitalization, but given the timeframes involved, it appears unlikely to the court. Because as I understand it, these are UAs, and most UA tests is only going to go back 72 hours at the most. And that would not cover the hospitalization issue. So basically, to summarize, before I'm ready to return the child, number one, justice needs to get to these appointments timely. Number two, I need some more drug tests that are clean on Ms. Kennedy. I'll reset this for the July hearing, and we'll see if those things can occur. What's the July date, the 9th, birthday?
Yes, sir.
Anything else in this case? What kind of access visitation is going on? I assume that it's as agreed. Is that correct?
That's correct, Judge.
It is Ms. Kennedy's sister that's taking care of the child. Any
Miss-
problem?
Her daughter, Judge.
I mean, her daughter. Any problem with that, Ms. Cobb?
No problems.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get those two things done, and I'll take another look at this in July. Parties are excused.
Judge, do you show me on another case? I have that as my only 4 for today unless I missed something.
Let me see.
You're on Murphy,
Harold Murphy, I was about to say that.
Gary.
Murphy, okay,
You're the ad litem for the child on Murphy, I think.
okay.
Next is CCL 21C 158, the interest of a child, the Moore matter. And should I let in on that one?
The Duncans in the waiting room.
Who's that?
Well, the Duncans.
Okay.
Stephanie or Keith Duncan.
We don't, the notices that are sent out to the caregivers, give them the YouTube link, not the Zoom link.
Oh, okay.
Unless we're calling them as a witness, we don't. But it should be Sherelle Stewart,
Okay, I see her.
Rose Chumley,
See her.
and that should be all.
Okay. And we have Ms. Stewart, Ms. Chumley is connecting, I believe. And there she is. Okay, so appearances beginning with Ms. Shelton.
Courtney Shelton, attorney for the department.
Paige Blackman, attorney for the child.
Patricia Smith with CASA.
Terrell Stewart, CPS.
Rose Trumley, Program Director for CPS and supervising this case.
And is Ms. Moore with us?
No, Your Honor.
She's not going to appear?
No, sir.
Okay,
I wouldn't think so.
let me double check and make sure she's not in the waiting room. It's Tiffany Moore, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
There's no one there by that name, so you may proceed.
Your Honor, if you recall at the last hearing, she was in my office for the removal hearing. She said that she didn't want to work services, didn't know if she would work services. Since that date, Ms. Stewart has had no contact with Tiffany, does not have a good working number for her. She's not staying at the place she said she was staying. So ultimately, we've had no progress. Don't suspect we will have any progress. Colton is doing great in his placement. He's with the Duncans, thriving. He's got 3 siblings there who adore him. So at this time, we would just request status quo, and we'd like to come back on August 6th. And if Ms. Moore has not made any progress on that date, then we'd like to set it for termination.
And the father's unknown, is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Has there been a paternity search yet?
I am not sure, but if not, we will get that done.
I see where it has been requested, but it's not back yet.
Okay, all right. Ms. Blackman.
Yes, sir. I was just out at the Moore home yesterday, and baby was awake this time. He was asleep last time I was there. Everything seems to be going very smoothly. All the other children and the dad, they were all there yesterday. Everybody does seem to get along, have a lot of fun together. I have no issues with the situation in the Moore home, so I'm in agreement with the department.
Casa.
We're in agreement as well, Your Honor.
Okay. How many other siblings are there?
3, Judge.
3, that's what I was thinking. Okay. Okay. Then we'll continue the existing orders of the court. I take it there's no visitation access between Ms. Moore and the child at this time.
That's correct, Judge.
I'll order that there not be any if I haven't already done so until such time as she submits herself to some type of progress on the service plan. I actually haven't adopted the service plan. Is that correct? Because she was one adopted and she said, I might follow it, I might not, or what's the status of that?
I believe we did adopt a service plan. She said she did not want to work it at that time.
That's correct. At the last hearing, the services were stated with her present there with Ms. Shelton. She said she was aware of the started services, they were ordered, but she said she wasn't participating.
Okay. Well, I'm ordering no access or visitation until such time as she does begin to participate. And reset for August 6th at 9 o'clock. And the parties in this case are excused if you have nothing else before the court today. CCL 21C171, interest of a child, the Murphy matter, and appearances.
Courtney Shelton, attorney for the department.
Gary Albertson, attorney ad litem.
Miranda Lee, attorney for Vanessa Murphy.
Patricia Smith Wacasa.
Cyndia Hammond, attorney for the father.
Okay, do we have either parent here?
Vanessa should be, it's under Vanessa Davis, and Anthony Murphy's in jail, and I totally forgot to notify them, so I will take the fall for that one again.
Okay.
There's not really much to announce on him, though.
Okay. I see Ms. Davis. Let's see if we can get audio here. Is it Davis or Murphy?
Judge Dowd, it's Murphy. I'm here.
Okay. We're in a really dark room. I'm having trouble seeing you.
Hold on, let me turn the light on.
All right.
I started to wonder if we were having court. I've been been waiting on for about an hour and a half now.
Well, we've been calling cases. We're going as fast as we can go.
Yes, sir.
But there are too many people for me to let everyone in at one time. We'd have 50 little squares, which makes it hard to keep up.
Right. Yeah, I understand, sir.
And Ms. Hammond, you're appearing for Mr. Burchell, or did I actually go ahead and substitute you in that case?
I think that you substituted me until he is able to take it over. So
Okay.
almost a co-counsel type situation.
Okay. All right, Ms. Shelton.
You're on, it hadn't been that long since we were here last time, but since then, Mom has gone for a drug test on May the 27th. She was negative on her UA and hair follicle. She has been given her list of services and is in the process of getting those set up. We are currently doing a home study on Anthony's aunt and uncle first. This is Jamaica's paternal great aunt and uncle. This was, I believe, Miss Murphy's first request that we do on. She believes that even if Mr. Murphy is released, that they will be protective of the children. So that's in the process of getting set up. So at this point, we just request status quo, and the initial permanency hearing is not until September.
Mr. Lee.
We concur with that, Your Honor. She is working or attempting to get started on working the program and is doing a good job so far.
Ms. Hammond.
Your Honor, my client's main concern was that some of his family members be considered for placement. And so since they're doing the home study that addresses his concern, he will be incarcerated for a while, it appears in this case.
Okay. Any idea how long it will take to get the home study completed?
Generally, it's anywhere from 30 to 60 days for it to be completed and have the report back and read with a approved or denied decision, Your Honor.
You know when it was started?
Just recently, we attempted to look at the paternal grandmother of Jamaica first, and there was criminal history in that home, so we were not able to proceed forward with their home study, and then we were provided the paternal great aunt and uncle's information.
Okay. So it'll be a while then until that's finished.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How are they? They're in foster care. How is that going? Let's see, Mr. Albertson, are you my ad litem in this case?
I am, Your Honor. My understanding is everything is going well. I mean, like I said, we just came to court recently. Not a whole lot has went on. I believe it was just a couple of weeks ago we were in court. So Everything's still going fine, just hoping that mom does what she's been doing, and we'll be back, and at some point she'll be getting her kids, hopefully.
Okay. Well, Ms. Davis, sounds like you're making a good start, so I'm glad to hear that.
Yes,
Just
sir.
keep up the good work, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll try to, in the meantime, we'll try to see if we can find these relatives to take care of the children until such time as I can send them back home.
I was gonna say, and if the ad litem and CASA want to go make a home visit and make a recommendation, I don't have any objection.
What about that?
Be fine with that if Ms. Smith wants to get with me, or whoever's the person on this one wants to get with me, we can do that.
Let's see, do I have a CASA rep in this?
Yes, Your Honor, that's me, and I'll be happy to do that. I just need to get the information from the department, but I'm happy to make a road trip and go visit the home and check it out and see who it is.
Where are they, Jill?
Hold on one second. Let me pull up their information. I'm sorry.
This is showing Marion County on my sheet.
Okay.
Maybe
I think that may be the paternal grandmother that we looked at first.
Oh,
Your Honor, the information on your sheet is for the foster parents, where they're placed now.
that's what we're asking.
No, I'm wondering where the paternal great aunt and uncle live. For
Oh,
them
okay.
to go look at the home.
Misunderstood. Okay.
I misunderstood as well. As far as the children, they're in foster care, and I visited with them, and they're doing fine.
Okay.
Miss Davis can tell us where do the aunt and uncle live?
They reside in Domino, Texas. I've given Miss Jill their information, their phone number, and their address as well via text message.
Okay.
Since they're close, I'd like the ad litems to make that home visit as soon as you can, since it's going to take 30 to 60 days to get the study done. I'd like to go ahead and place the child sooner than that if the home is suitable.
And are they willing to take both children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Jill, if you'll give me their names and social and date of birth, I'll run their backgrounds too.
Okay, thank you.
And Your Honor, I've got time next week if Ms. Smith just wants to get with me. We can email back and forth or whatever and get something set up to go visit.
Okay. I'm sure she'll do that. So, all right. Next review then is what date?
Initial permanency is not until September. I don't really see a need to review it before then. Unless the court just wants to.
If I get a favorable report from my two ad litems, I would I would sign a move order without having another hearing.
Okay.
I think everyone's on board with that.
Yes, sir.
So September, what date?
September 1.
All right. IPH, September 1. And is Ms. Davis seeing the children now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, then, Ms. Davis, you may sign off.
I just had one thing to add, Your Honor.
Okay.
At the last visit that I had previous to the one yesterday on Friday, I did notice a bruise on my one of my children's leg. I asked her what happened, and she said somebody hit me. And my other daughter, I don't know what she's referring to, but she said, "Mama, those people, they don't believe me. They don't believe me." I said, "What are you talking about?" She wouldn't say anything. So I don't know how often how long this investigation is going to be going on or what's going on with that. But those, things were definitely concerning to me. And I did call the hotline and report that.
Okay, apparently Ms. Black has some information on that.
We had another visit, Your Honor, yesterday with Miss David or Miss Murphy and the girls. And Miss Murphy did ask the girls about that when she took them to the restroom. And Fanta, the 4-year-old, who's the oldest child in this case, Miss Murphy asked her what she meant when she told her that those people won't believe me. And Fanta said that she did not say that. What she said was, I said that Jamaica was pulling on a toy and someone else was pulling on a toy and he let go and the toy hit her in the head. And at that time, Jamaica put her hand on her head and said, it hit me. So I do know the report that Miss Murphy is referring to, but based on the conversation that I overheard between her and the girls yesterday, I think those things were explained.
Okay. All right. All right, then we'll review this again on the date stated and the parties are excused.
And Judge, I was wrong about that September day. It's September 3rd. I'm sorry.
3rd, okay.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Davis, if you have any further concerns, then you can let your counsel know, and I'm sure it'll be brought up to the court. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Just report them to Mr. Lee.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Your Honor, I believe with that, that's all I have. May I now be excused?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Next is CCL 21C 194, interest of Brielle Starnes, I believe it is. Who do I have in the waiting room on that case?
I think they said Christine was in the waiting room. But I don't know which phone.
She was the one on the BG or GB.
GB. Yes, sir.
Hello.
Ms. Starnes?
Yes, speaking. Hello, Your Honor.
Hello. Can you turn on your camera for us?
Here we go.
Very good. Very good. Can you see me okay?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
All right. I've just called your case. It's CCL 21C 194. And let's see. Let me ask for appearances, beginning with Ms. Shelton.
Courtney Shelton, attorney for the department.
Harley Anderson, attorney ad litem.
Patricia Smith with CASA.
And Ms. Starnes, of course, this is about your child, Brielle. Are you aware of what's going on in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And do you recall me? I've previously spoken with you about your right to have a lawyer, have or not?
No, Judge, she was not on the removal hearing.
She was not here.
Still in the hospital.
Okay. Let me go over a couple of things with you then, Ms. Starnes. First of all, do you understand that the department has filed a petition in this case asking to be appointed as temporary conservator of Brielle? Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. In that connection, do you understand that if you are unable or unwilling to furnish Brielle with a safe home environment, that eventually could result in a termination of your parental rights, although that is not the goal today? Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have a right to be represented in proceedings by an attorney. If you are unable to afford an attorney, the court can appoint one if you are not in agreement with what the department is proposing. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right. Are you aware of what the proposal is by the department in this case? Have you talked with anyone?
Are you talking about our family plan?
Yes.
Yes, Shelby had sent me the family plan and I signed it. She sent it via email. My social worker, GB, he helped me scan it back to her. So she has that family plan with my signature.
Okay. So I take it by signing it, then you're not opposing to what, you're not in opposition to what they're proposing at this time?
Not at all.
Okay. The child's father is, you don't know who the father is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, incorrect. I do know the child's father, but I need a DNA test. We didn't do a DNA test.
Okay. Tell me who you think the father is.
Jared Kaiser.
Say again.
Jared Kaiser.
Okay. You know how do you spell that?
Jeradkeyser. Jared Kaiser.
Where does he live?
He lives in California.
Where in California?
Currently I don't know.
Where was his last known address?
I think in Big Bear, California.
Big Bend or Big Bear?
Big Bear.
Big Bear, California.
Your Honor.
Do you have any kind of street address or any more information on that?
No, Your Honor, I don't.
Okay. Has he had any contact with Brielle since she was born?
No, Your Honor.
All right.
I tried, but he wasn't too interested.
Okay. Where are you at the present time?
Right now, I am at, what is the hospital's name?
JPS Hospital.
I'm
Fort
at
Worth, Texas.
JPS Hospital, Fort Worth, Texas.
Fort Worth?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
But I'm getting released today.
Ms. Shelton, you may proceed.
Okay, Your Honor, Christine was unable to participate in the FGC that the department had. Her mother did call in and has requested placement of Brielle while Christine works services. So the department is working on completing an ICPC home study on her. She did send pictures of her house. She resides in California as well. She has a very nice house. She's got lots of things for Brielle. She has provided COVID vaccines papers. She's provided emergency responder certificates, and numerous other papers. Christine
Live in California?
I'm sorry?
Does she live in California?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
My understanding is that Christine's dad is coming to pick her up today to take her back to Arizona to live with him. So, and so they're wanting Christine to go live with her dad in Arizona and Brielle to go live with the mom in California. Our concern is we don't know how we'll work services with Christine in Arizona to have Brielle placed with her. So that's kind of where we're at. We don't mind doing the ICPC home study, but if she goes back to Arizona to live, I don't know how we'll work services with her.
Okay. What do the services consist of?
The parent, just the standard parenting, counseling, psychological, drug testing, EDCATA.
Okay. Ms. Anderson, where are you? There she is.
Yes, sir. There's something flying over my building right now. So, Your Honor, I was able to participate in the family group conference. I received the photos from the grandmother. The home looks appropriate. I think we're still waiting on background checks. There was some confusion regarding that, but I think that the grandmother is working on that. I'm pleased that Christine can go with her father and has such good family support. I share the concerns that Ms. Shelton has about how we work services and how we reunify the family when we've got 3 different states at play. But I'm willing to continue to work and see if placement would be appropriate. I think maybe Ms. Smith and I could do a video tour of the home once we get the background checks back. I just want to ensure that the grandmother is going to be protective and have that conversation with her.
Okay. Ms. Starnes, can you confirm what they're saying about you going to live with your father?
Yes, sir. My dad is on his way to pick me up today. I leave in about, 2 hours. And I will be staying with my dad for some time. But if I need to stay with my mom to continue services, her home is available for me as well. I'm just staying with him to stabilize for a little bit and get on my feet.
Where does your mom live?
14374 Galleon Lane, Hellendale, California.
Okay, so she also lives out of state then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Also, if I may say, when I go to Arizona, I'm going to be with the Mojave Mental Health Clinic. That's where my resource comes from with rehabilitation after coming out of the hospital. My social worker has set that up for me.
Okay.
And Judge, it may be that we just have to, if we decide to go ahead and place Brielle in California, we just monitor it for a little bit, and then we may end up just having to give PMC to her mom if she's in agreement with that. And then let her mom be the decision maker.
Okay. Well, it sounds like there are just some bridges to cross in this case. We'll just have to take it a step at a time. I don't know that there are any alternatives. It sounds like Ms. Starnes at least has a good plan and apparently a solid place to go. And the goal here, Ms. Starnes, of course, is to reunite you with your child. We're just going to have to figure out how to do that because you've signed on to a plan. It's difficult for them to offer that plan when you're out of state. So that's the problem. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor. Like I said, I can, change plans and still live at my mom's place if necessary. But I do have a plan to have the opportunity to get my own place in Arizona. And I have the resources like the Mojave Mental Health Clinic. And I have a place already lined up where I'll be living. But it'd be ideal for my mom to get temporary custody for now so I can get on my feet.
Let's see, Ms. Anderson, you and CASA are involved in this case.
Yes, sir.
Of course, I wouldn't ask y'all to go to California, but if there's a possible way that you could do some type of walkthrough contact virtually, because an ICPC is going to take quite a long time. That's just my experience.
Yes, sir. I'm happy to do that.
Ms. Smith?
Yes, I'm happy to do that as well.
And again, if y'all will give me her information, I can run the NCIC background check.
Yeah.
Your Honor, may I bring up one additional matter?
Yes.
Ms. Starnes had called me a week or two ago, and she had told me that I had asked her if she had counsel because I didn't want to speak to her directly if she was represented. She mentioned that she had retained Michael Friedman, but I don't see him here today, so I just wanted to clarify that because I don't want to communicate with her if I should be going through her attorney.
Do you have a lawyer, Ms. Starnes?
He's on hold right now, but he can be hired if necessary. Yes, I do have a lawyer. His name's Michael Freeman.
You haven't actually hired him or paid him any money?
That would be through my mom. I've been in the hospital, but I do have some money saved up for him, yes.
But you haven't hired him yet though, right?
Personally, me, no.
Okay. All right. When and if you hire him, which is fine, you certainly have a right to do that. You need to let Ms. Anderson know so she'll know how to communicate with you.
Yes,
Okay.
Your Honor.
All right. Okay. Review date.
Your Honor, the initial permanency is not until October 1st. I would request that we review it August the 6th. Or even prior to that, it's kind of up to you.
I guess the question would be when Ms. Anderson and Ms. Smith think they can do their virtual contact.
I don't see any problem with doing that within the next month.
I don't either.
I'm just afraid our July docket's getting rather full.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, August 6th.
Your Honor, I mean, if they do the virtual walkthrough, they could, if they are recommending placement, we could do a move order and then come back in August. If mom is still wanting to do custody to the grandmother at that point, we could and dismiss out.
Let's do that. Sounds like a good plan. Ms. Starnes, I'm trying to get through the legal hurdles to get the child out to California. It sounds like a good placement as far as what everybody knows right now, but you understand I can't just up and do it without further information.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Well, for the record, then we'll revisit this on August 6th with a possible move order prior to that date. And the parties are excused. Thank you, Ms. Starnes.
Thank you, Your Honor. And when it comes to knowing August 6th, next court date, who can I talk to about what time and how to get on? Is that going to be with Shelby or Carly?
Probably Ms. Hudson has this case, that do not. Is that correct, Ms. Hudson?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Talk to Ms. Hudson.
Okay, Shelby Hudson, got it. Thank you.
And you may sign off. Next case is CCL 21C198. Interest of Gunnar Edmondson. I know Ms. Edmondson is in the waiting room, I believe. Anyone else that I need to let in on this case?
Erica Young.
Let's see. I don't see her. She's not a Zoom user. I know who that is. I don't see her.
I know she was here in Atlanta to get on. Michelle, have you heard from her?
Yeah, I talked to her earlier. I know she was in the waiting room. Let me call her back and see did she leave out.
Okay.
No, there she is. Wait. I think
Yeah.
there. Young GEL, is that her?
That may be her. Yes, that's her. EL. Young EL, that's her.
All right. And Ms. Edmondson, can you hear me?
So now I can.
Can you turn on your camera?
It is on. I can see you. Can you not see me?
I cannot see you. I can hear you.
Okay, there it is. Now?
There you go. Now I can see you.
All right, I'll do it.
Let's see. This is a non-E hearing. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And appearances beginning with Ms. Shelton.
Courtney Shelton, attorney for the department.
Erica
Page
Young,
Go ahead.
Erica Young, investigator.
Paige Blackman, attorney for the child.
Michelle Lawson, CPS.
Tricia Smith with CASA.
Do you need to call witnesses in this case?
I don't know. I haven't had a chance to speak to Ms. Edmondson, so I don't know if she's in agreement with work and services.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
You say yes, you are. Is
I would
this
do
your
whatever.
first, is this your first appearance in this case?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
It wasn't, I didn't know it was a case. I thought it was an investigation, and then I guess now it is a case.
Now there's a petition filed, and I know you've been before the court before in other cases, have you not? So
Yes,
you know what your legal rights are. You know that I could appoint you an attorney if you come to a time when you don't agree with what they're proposing. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. And see, I really don't understand this anyway, because when I had him 5 weeks early. I was clean and sober. He was clean and sober. Everything was done right. Like, and then they're still messing with me. Like, there's not even no drug testing in this. They snatched my son from me. I don't get to see him. Like, he's with somebody else that I didn't even sign for him to be with.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have Ms. Shelton read off what she says the department is asking for in this case, and then you can tell me if you agree or disagree, okay?
Your Honor, the department is requesting TMC of Gunner and that Ms. Kelsey Edmondson be required to submit to random alcohol and drug testing, to an EDCATA evaluation, parenting, counseling, and a psychological evaluation. And that the child remain in the care of Sharon Foster.
So, hearsay.
I didn't hear that.
I didn't either. What did you say?
Because of a lady getting mad at me, and they called in because of some hearsay. I get my baby ripped from me. So anybody that calls in on somebody, you just go rip their child from them without anything, nothing, no proof or nothing.
Okay. I don't think it doesn't sound like she's in agreement, even though she's telling the court she is.
It does not sound like she's in agreement.
I just want to understand, how is this right? That's all I'm trying to understand.
Ms. Edmondson, can you afford to hire a lawyer?
No, I cannot.
Okay. Do you want me to appoint you a lawyer so that he can answer some of these questions you have?
Yes.
Mr. Lee, are you available for that?
I am, Your Honor, as long as the court realizes it won't be within the next two weeks.
All right. Ms. Edmondson, I'm going to appoint Mr. Randall Lee as your attorney. I'm going to reset this hearing to give you a chance to talk with him about that.
Can I have my business?
And let's see, reset date. When are you coming back, Mr. Lee?
2 weeks, after 2 weeks, I'll be back in available.
You know what date?
I will get you dates. Just a second. I had to get it off my phone.
Okay.
I will be back June the 21st.
Okay. What's our July date, regular date?
July 9th.
I need to set it before then.
It's a non-E, Judge.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, I'll reset it for that then. July 9.
Yes, sir.
Miss Edmondson, you need to contact me and set up an appointment as soon as you can, okay?
All right. And the 9th will be in person, Mr. Lee, so you can present witnesses or present evidence at that time if needed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is it Emerson? Mr. Lee's representing you, so you need to go see him and he can answer some of these questions you have about the case, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. In the meantime, the court will continue the existing ex parte orders until such time as we can conduct the July 9th hearing. And the parties this case.
Your Honor, there aren't any ex parte orders.
Oh, there are?
No, sir.
This an agree. Oh, it's a safety plan. I see.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's good. Then there are no ex parte orders. We'll just continue with the safety plan unless something occurs. All right. You may sign off, Ms. Evanson.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Your Honor, that's all I have before the court this morning. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Your Honor, that's all I have as well. May I be excused?
No, we just want to see you. No, you're excused.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
What is flying over your office? That was.
I live, my office is by Wadley, so sometimes a helicopter will fly in.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
I've seen your office. It's over. It's what, about a block away, maybe 2 blocks away.
Yes, sir. It's an old oral surgery building. I think half of Texarkana had their wisdom teeth out here.
Oh, wow. I probably did when I was up there.
I know I did.
Have a good weekend.
You too. Thank you.
Let's see. Next case, 21C 199, in the matter of the Morgan children. And I think Ms. Morgan is here. And Mr. Morgan is the Zoom user. Okay, let her connect now. Anyone else I need to let in?
I believe that's it, Judge.
Angela Polk.
Unless, yeah.
Oh,
Let Angela Polk in?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, appearances, Ms. Shelton.
Courtney Shelton, attorney for the department.
Randall Lee, attorney for Cassie Morgan.
Michelle
Talia
Walton,
Hammond, attorney for the children.
Michelle Walton, CPS.
Jessica Adaway, FBSS caseworker.
Patricia Smith with CASA.
All right, and the record will reflect that Ms. Morgan appears with her counsel by way of Zoom. Mr. Morgan appears without counsel, also by way of Zoom. May proceed, Ms. Shelton.
Your Honor, Ms. Hammond had an opportunity to go out to Ms. Morgan's house, and I believe Ms. Smith has also been by there. I think they went separately. Oh no, they went together. Okay. She has cleaned up quite a bit. They did not have any major concerns. It appears that the biggest issue is mental health and marijuana, which that can all be dealt with in the FBSS case. At this point, I don't really see a need to continue with the petition for the removal of the kids. So we are going to dismiss the removal. We are going to continue with the order to participate that was in place. I believe it was put in place on March the 5th of 21 in CCL 21C074. We would like to leave that order to participate in place. Keep it going, keep them working FBSS services until the department's satisfied that they are ready to dismiss out of the case. But at this point, I just don't, well, based on the ad litem and CASA's recommendation, they don't see the need for the removal. So I'm going to go with their recommendation.
Ms. Hammond.
Your Honor, me and Patricia Smith did go out to the home. We spoke with the kids separately, the older kids. There was one younger child that's too young really to be interviewed. The home, you can tell that they have been working on cleaning of the home. But as far as I'm concerned, I did not see anything that led me to believe that the kids are currently unsafe or that we would need to proceed with a removal. It appears, yes, the family does need some services because, yes, there are some concerns about the ability to maintain the upkeep of the home, at least the home that we went to, which was Miss Morgan's home. There, of course, are concerns about Mr. Morgan's home because there's an unexplained injury to the child, the youngest child. However, I do not see the need for a removal at this time.
Awesome.
Your Honor, I'm in agreement with that as well. The home had food, water. I mean, I saw pictures of what it looked like before, but the day Cindy and I went out there to look at it, it was much better condition than it was before. So I just don't think it's as severe right now to pull those kids out of that home and into foster care.
Mr. Lee.
Obviously, we agree that they don't need to be removed.
Judge, I would like to add one thing directed towards Mr. Morgan. The biggest concern appears to be with his girlfriend, which she's not a party to this case. We can't order her to do anything, but if he's aware of things that are going on with his kids, with his girlfriend, if something happens to those kids under his care, under her watch, he's going to be held criminally responsible for it. So he might want to consider that if he's allowing her to have unsupervised access. So I would strongly admonish him to really consider who he's letting have unsupervised access to his kids, because I do have serious concerns about his girlfriend.
Okay. All right. Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Then under the circumstances, the court will grant the department's motion to dismiss this action. I will continue my existing order to participate previously entered by the court. Mr. Morgan, Ms. Morgan, you both understand that while I am dismissing this case, I am not dismissing the prior order, which still requires you to participate in services offered by the department. Y'all both understand that?
Yes,
Yes,
Your
Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, am I still counsel? I didn't even realize there was another action.
It's just in order to participate. You will not be counsel for Ms. Morgan in connection with that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
This will conclude your obligation in this case. Anything from anyone else?
No, Your Honor.
If not, the parties are excused. May sign off.
Your Honor, I believe that's all I have. May I be excused?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. CCL 21C 200, interest of a child, actually children. The Sertucci matter. And I see Mrs. Sertucci is in the waiting room. I'll let her in. I guess everyone that's left should be in this case. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Kayla Johnson,
Yes, sir.
Angela Pope.
She was in the last one, Judge.
Okay, so she's not in this one.
No, sir.
Waiting on Ms. Johnson. It's a non-E hearing.
It was, it won't be.
Okay.
Got to change plans.
Ms. Sertucci, can you hear me? Ms. Sertucci, can you hear us? No, she's not connected yet. Ms. Sertucci, can you hear me, ma'am? Okay, you're muted, so I cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Can you? I can hear you now. There you go. Can you hear and see me okay? I'm Judge Dowd.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is Mr. Gonzalez there with you, or
Yes, sir.
who's that? Okay, okay. I've called your case, but I'm going to let the district attorney explain what they're proposing today.
Yes, sir.
We'll go from there, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Sheldon.
Your Honor, this was initially filed as a petition for removal. After further review, basically this was an FBSS case and they were doing really great. Then they had a hair follicle and they both tested positive for meth. And they were having some trouble getting started in their New Beginnings outpatient program. The parents are willing to work services. The kids are placed with their grandparents. So what we would like to do is leave the petition pending and have FBSS continue to work with them, allow them time to finish their New Beginnings program. And if they don't have any more positive UAs and they have a negative hair in 90 days, then we'll dismiss that petition.
Ms. Hammond?
Your Honor, I'm in agreement with that. The children are currently safe with a family placement. I have no concerns there. And looking over what they did in this case, they have we can't offer them any more services than what they're already doing. They've been drug testing. They've been honest about their drug testing whenever they do test positive, and they have sought the next step in order to obtain the additional services necessary. So I'm in agreement with the department. It should remain at FBSS, but if they continue to test positive now that they are doing outpatient, then we're going to have problems. So I don't mind the petition being pending.
Ms. Smith?
I'm in agreement as well, Your Honor. I called to check on the children. They're doing well. I spoke with Margie, which is one of the grandparents that is caring for the children. She told me that the parents come over and help out with the children, and I enjoyed that conversation with her. It sounds like she's going to hold them accountable. So I feel like this is a great plan for them.
Okay. Ms. Sertucci, do you understand what they're proposing in this matter?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Mr. Gonzalez, do you also understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In other words, they're not going forward with their petition to remove the children. They just want you to complete your plan. It looks like you had you were doing well and then you ran into an issue there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. All right, then I won't take any further action then on this matter and simply allow the state to leave the petition pending before the court. There's been no removal, so there's not been no formal removal, so there's no need to set a hearing at this time.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Sartucci and Mr. Gonzalez, y'all may sign off.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Anything else? I think I covered them all.
I believe that's it, Judge.
All right, well, everybody have a good weekend and
Thank you.
safe
You too.
weekend. And that'll conclude this case. Court